Good evening and welcome to ITV News. This is Monday night's calendar.
Yes, hello, good evening. Here are tonight's main stories.
And you can see that there's a red line there, and that's indicated for cannabis.
We're out with police in Wakefield stopping drug drivers in the Monday morning rush hour.
It still shocks me with the amount of education and enforcement that we do across West Yorkshire, that it still shocks me people go out and get behind the wheel under the influence of drink or drugs.
Masking the issue, York Council defends using balaclava-clad workers to remove national flags from its lampposts.
On the road again, we join Leeds Rhinos legend Kevin Sinfield on his latest epic challenge for the MND community.
Runners, this young lad has done a mile a day throughout all of November. He's raised thousands for charity and he's about to go again. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, hey!
Yes, stay with us for all of that. But first tonight to what police say is a growing problem of drink and drug driving across West Yorkshire. As officers in Wakefield started their annual festive crackdown on those under the influence today, it took them just 90 minutes to find drivers who tested positive for drugs.
Police were stopping cars in the city at random during the morning rush hour, and they arrested 2 men on suspicion of drug driving in quick succession after one car sped off, leading police on a chase. Our reporter Ben Bason was there.
Good morning, how are you?
Monday morning in Wakefield, and within an hour of setting up a drink and drug drive roadside check, officers strike lucky.
You can see that there's a red line there, and that's indicated for cannabis.
After police detect a strong smell in this car which has been stopped, the driver tests positive for cannabis, and what are thought to be drugs are found in the vehicle. A man is arrested on suspicion of drug driving. Just minutes later, and more drama. Well, we've just been here at this police checkpoint, and one of the cars that they've stopped, just while they were chatting to them, made off. Police chased them about a quarter of a mile down the road. The man who was driving the car crashed it and abandoned. Well, police have just found a wad of cash in his car. Specialist drugs dogs were brought in to search the vehicle, and a man was arrested on suspicion of a number of offences, including possession with intent to supply Class A drugs and drug driving.
Seal your lips around the edge of the tube and then it's one long continuous blow until I say stop. Not too hard, not too soft, kind of like blowing up a balloon, okay? As and when you're ready.
This is the first in a number of operations to catch drink and drug drivers across West Yorkshire in the run-up to Christmas. But even officers were surprised at just how quickly their festive crackdown has seen results.
We're here to show presence and provide some education, enforcement and discouragement really for drink and drug drivers that are considering going out this Christmas.
It's 9:30 on a Monday morning. We've already seen 2 drivers driving under the influence of drugs. Does that shock you?
Absolutely, it still shocks me with the amount of education and enforcement that we do across West Yorkshire, that it still shocks me people go out and get behind the wheel under the influence of drink or drugs. And exactly, you know, it's 9 o'clock, 9:30 on a Monday morning. It's not something we'd expect to see, but unfortunately we are seeing this more and more, and it's a worry, and it poses a danger to the safety of our road users.
Last year, West Yorkshire Police arrested almost 300 people over the festive period on suspicion of being under the influence of alcohol or drugs while behind the wheel. Officers say while they always hear the same excuses, there can be no excuse for putting lives in danger on the roads. And with 2 people taken into custody on just day 1 of this campaign, they hope the streets of West Yorkshire are already a safer place. Ben Mason, ITV News, Wakefield.
In other news tonight, a man allegedly involved in a house fire murder plot that killed a mother and her 3 children in Bradford has told a court he thought he was just going to torch a car. Prosecutors say Calum Sunderland was recruited for a botched revenge attack on Shiraz Ali's former partner, Antonia Goworth. It's alleged Ali used a lighter to start a catastrophic blaze which killed Antonia's sister Bryony and her 3 children. Sunderland, who's 26, said he would never have gone if he'd known there were people in the house. The trial at Doncaster Crown Court continues. Ali and Sunderland deny murder and attempted murder charges.
A man accused of carrying out the LNER train stabbings will face trial next year. Anthony Williams, who's 32, is charged with 10 counts of attempted murder over the incident on the Doncaster to London King's Cross service last month. He did not appear in the dock as the case was heard at Cambridge this morning, where a trial date has been set for June.
2 women killed in a collision which also left a 9-year-old boy with life-changing injuries have been named. Amy Pearson, who was 26, and Chelsea Carlisle, who was 29, both died in the crash at Plesley in Derbyshire last Thursday. An 18-year-old man was arrested at the scene on suspicion of causing death by dangerous driving.
Well, next to the covert tactics being deployed to remove the Union and St George's flags put up around one of our most famous tourist cities.
York City Council has defended sending in teams of men after dark, dressed in balaclavas, to take down the national emblems hanging from local authority lampposts.
The move has been criticised as heavy-handed and distressing by some, but officials say its workforce has been left needing to protect their identities after suffering what it called serious organised harassment and intimidation. Our correspondent Greg Eastill has the story.
Who are you? Why are a load of men in masks on the street?
This is what it's come to. Men in unmarked vans donning balaclavas to remove flags from around York at night. The residents who shot this footage questioning the tactics at close quarters.
What public authority do you have to be walking around in masks and behaving like this?
The men, some dressed in high-visibility security gilets, confirm they work for the council before politely asking the people taking the pictures to back away. City of York Council tonight defending the approach as appropriate and essential to ensure the safety of its workforce. It's the latest chapter in a tense few weeks of exchanges that began when hundreds of Union and St George's flags went up in suburbs around the city. The people behind the flags say they've gone up to promote pride and patriotism and to bring communities together. But a few weeks ago, the council here announced it was taking them down, saying the flag flying had coincided with a rise in racist incidents, including children being abused on their way to school. Some people we spoke to today, though, not happy with the way the removal work's being done.
I don't see the problem with putting the flags up, and the fact that they feel the need to disguise their identities to take them back down speaks volumes, in my opinion.
I'd be scared, actually, if I saw people out late at night with balaclavas on.
One of my good friends here, actually, his dad used to work for the council and he quit because he was taking the flags down and he got so much harassment. Like, I completely understand from their point of view. It's like, I mean, they're only doing their job, aren't they?
I understand why the council are taking them down. They shouldn't have to be balaclavaed up, no.
The council says good progress has already been made, removing hundreds of flags from lampposts dotted around the city. But a few pockets do still exist where flags are flying high. The authority, though, has vowed to press on with the removal work. Meaning we may not have seen the last of these flag removal teams by night on York's streets.
And Greg joins us now live from the City of York's Council headquarters. And Greg, what more has the authority said about its reasons for using these tactics to remove the flags?
Well, Ian, the City of York Council told us this action was necessary because it says its workers have been abused and intimidated both online and in person. In addition to that, it used some pretty stark language in a statement it issued to us earlier. Have a listen. It says the council is aware of the coordination of serious organised harassment and intimidation and threats towards its contractor, which means anonymity is essential. It told us on top of that it believes people are actively working online to try and identify the workers taking down those flags.
So, Greg, has there been any response from the people behind putting up the flags yet?
Yeah, we've spoken this afternoon, Laura, to an organisation called Flag Force UK, who are responsible for putting up some of those flags. The first thing to stress is that there's no suggestion at all that any of its members are behind the threats and intimidation which the council claims is happening to its workers. It, however, has called into question whether that abuse has actually happened, asking to see evidence of it. It says that as far as it's concerned, distress and intimidation has been caused by the masked men to people living on the streets where they're working. And it's also asking questions about why the council is paying people in balaclavas to operate in this way without freely identifying who they are.
Indeed. Greg Easteel live in York for us tonight. Thank you very much.
The owners of an award-winning West Yorkshire restaurant are warning businesses to be wary of a scam that left them thousands of pounds out of pocket. When a booking came in to hire the whole place for a private party, Bavette in Horsforth thought they were onto a winner.
Yeah, they were promised that a payment into their bank to cover both the venue hire and a live band. But when Bavette paid the band, they found out it was fictitious and they'd been scammed. Sally Simpson is there tonight to tell us some more. Sally, what have you learnt?
Well, tables here at this restaurant are very sought after. It opened early last year and very quickly was awarded UK's best local restaurant in the Good Food Guide. It's a popular spot, and so it came as no surprise to the owners, Clement and Sandy, when they had this inquiry to hire out the whole place for a private party. But Clement, you must have been delighted when you had this offer.
Yes, so it was about 2 months ago, and it was for Wednesday night. So yeah, we were like 30 people for a nice occasion on Wednesday nights. Why not? It'd be great.
Nothing unusual there, and a good money spinner for you. But Sandy, when did you realise there was some serious red flags going on?
Yeah, so it wasn't until the day after we took the card payment, then it transferred the money, that we got a call from our card provider, Dojo, to say that they thought it was a scam, so didn't want to release the money over to us.
By that time, of course, you'd already paid this £3,500 to what you thought was a band, but was clearly the scammers themselves. And there was the added problem of the restaurant being empty then on this Wednesday night in question. But the local community rallied round, customers answered the call. One of them was Joe. Joe, you came in and helped fill the restaurant that night. Why were you so keen to support the guys?
Because it's an awful thing to happen to a small local business, and we just wanted to help any way we could. So, yeah.
And it's a place you enjoy coming?
Oh, we come loads. We love it, and we just wanted to help them get over an awful thing to happen just before Christmas.
And what do you think of the scammers who tried to dupe them out of so much money?
Oh, I have no words why you would do that to a small business, a small local business that is helping the local community, and it's frightening that it could happen to any small business.
Joe, thank you very much indeed. And of course, that is the problem. Sandy's told me that he knows of at least 5 other businesses in the area that have been contacted in similar ways, perhaps by the same scammers. Sandy and Clement are now hoping they can reclaim the money that they've been conned out of. But the message is clear. Check and double check before you part with any money when you receive inquiries like this, because if you get caught out, it could be very difficult to swallow.
Oh, thank you very much, Sally Simpson, live in Horsforth. And I suppose this time of year, you're more likely to get scammed, aren't you?
Be alert at all times, I think, when you're spending money. That's the thing, isn't it? Now then, you're watching Monday Night's Calendar with Lara and Ian, and still to come.
And it's definitely not been the driest and brightest start to the meteorological winter season, but I can promise a bit more in the way of blue sky as we head into tomorrow, of course. All the detail a little later on.
Right, put the tinsel and mince pies down just for a second, because we're hearing that your Christmas shopping might be getting a bit pricier this year. Why is that? Well, it's all down to a new government recycling fee, which is being sent to businesses. And they say they've no choice but to pass that cost straight on to you.
Yes, it's part of a new scheme to encourage sustainable packaging. But with firms already feeling the pinch, is this the right time for this hefty new charge? Kevin Ashford has been investigating.
This brewery in Ilkley says it's already feeling the impact of the EPR, mainly because of a lack of clarity with the new charge.
It's put massive pressure, mostly on administrative time, trying to understand it. It's changed a number of times, so just when we thought we got to the bottom of it, then everything changed. There's still a lot of confusion about whether producers our size need to be paying it or if it should be paid at source. So we're having to do credits and re-invoicing and repricing, so it's causing a lot of pressure on us, really.
The idea of the levy is to shift the cost of doing this, collecting and recycling waste, from the consumer and more onto the producer, and to encourage those who put the packaging into the system to use less of it.
We're proliferating with packaging, and so ultimately anything that's going to help us make better use of that packaging by putting money into the system is good news. But also it's about driving the type of packaging off the market that is perhaps harder to recycle. So longer term, we'll see more recyclable, easier to recycle packaging.
Environmental campaigners say the introduction of the scheme is long overdue, and they hope it'll improve recycling rates in this country.
Ultimately, in the long run, you do want to see a whole system change, because being stuck at 44% recycling for a decade and not really seeing any decreases in packaging, that's not a good place to be starting from. So we have got a long journey ahead of us, I'm afraid.
The Retail Industries Trade Association say they welcome the scheme, but warn of its impact on prices for all of us in the run-up to Christmas.
It's already estimated that these bills will add about 0.5% to food price inflation. So we're seeing it coming through already now. So that on top of other bills like business rates, higher labour charges, are all making it very, very difficult for retailers. And even the government admits 80% of this charge, which runs into the billions, will be passed to us as consumers because retailers don't have any more capacity to absorb it.
The government told ITV News that the scheme will generate more than £1 billion every year, which must be spent by councils to improve recycling collections, as we aim to cut the amount of waste we throw away. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
Well, it's time for some sport now. Chris is here with us. Yet more punishments for Sheffield Wednesday.
Lara, yeah, what talk about kicking a team when it's down, eh? Yeah, the English Football League have handed down further punishments for both the club and their former owner.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday have been given a further 6-point penalty for multiple breaches of the Football League's regulations regarding payment obligations. Remember, Wednesday were already deducted 12 points for entering administration in October, but the EFL did say they wouldn't be seeking any further points penalties and that Wednesday's fee restriction on incoming players, which was due to run until 2027, was likely to be lifted once they exit administration. Meanwhile, former owner Dafon Chansiri has been banned from being an owner or director of any EFL club for the next 3 years.
Thanks for that update. Well, look, let's talk about things that happened on the pitch. And Leeds so close to a big win at the weekend.
They were, Ian, yeah, Manchester City. Pesky Manchester City spoiling all the fun, eh? Now, by judging by recent form, I'm not sure many gave Leeds much hope of getting anything from their trip to the Etihad to fire in the winner.
Heartbreaking. Yeah, we worked really hard in the second half, and to give it away like that is sad, but we got technically good, strong. Yeah, I think we can do a lot of good things this season.
Well, elsewhere over the weekend in the Championship, Sheffield United made it 3 straight wins with a 3-2 victory over Leicester. It was the reverse scoreline for Sheffield Wednesday, who were beaten 3-2 by Preston. Joe Wright's goal gave Bradford their first League One win since September. The Bantams beat Exeter 1-0. Goals galore at Huddersfield, who rescued a point late on against AFC Wimbledon thanks to Alfie May. Jordan Gibson scored twice as Doncaster beat Peterborough 2-1. Barnsley took the lead at Stockport but had to settle for a point after conceding late on. 9 games unbeaten now for Rotherham, who drew at home to Wickham, and Harrogate remain in the League Two relegation zone despite a 1-1 draw at Barnet.
OK, so that's the football, Chris. What about the rest of the sport, though?
Yeah, Lara, some rugby league news today coming out of the Leeds Rhinos. Harry Newman, who was an ever-present in the Rhinos team last season and played for England in the recent Ashes series with Australia, will leave the club at the end of next season with a move to the NRL Down Under, a likely destination. And talking of the Rhinos, club legend Kevin Sinfield has begun his latest fundraising challenge for motor neurone disease charities. Kevin has been in East Anglia today, setting off from Bury St Edmunds this morning, and after running 51 kilometres, Kevin and the team arrived at Ipswich Town Football Club early this afternoon to a hero's welcome from many, including the former Huddersfield Town footballer Marcus Stewart, who's living with MND. Kevin's great friend and former teammate Rob Burrow died from motor neurone disease last year.
The night before every one of these runs, I used to get a text from him, and with him not being here, I got one off Lindsay last night, which was lovely to receive. And off Ed Slater, and Marcus came and ate with us last night. So those guys are special because they provide some comfort and hope. But we've seen the best of the best along route. We've got MND, and there's some wonderful people I've met over the last few years, and it's an honour to represent him.
You know, we say it every time, don't we, when he pops up on calendar, what a hero he is. He really is. And you know what? We're only one day down. He's already raised over £350,000. That's halfway towards his total target for this latest challenge. And Kevin and the team will be in our region on Thursday in Sheffield, and they'll end his challenge in Leeds next Sunday as well.
Right, wow. So we'll see plenty of him then.
We'll be out for that as well. You'll see him on calendar.
Great stuff, thank you.
Welcome.
Now, the lineup for next year's Leeds Festival has been announced today. Among the artists who'll be appearing at the August Bank Holiday event at Bramham Park will be Charlie XCX, the rapper Dave and singer-songwriter Ray. Caspian are also due to be the headline act on the Kasabian, rather, due to be the headline act on the Thursday night of the event, which attracts tens of thousands of music fans. Looking forward to summer already, aren't we?
Yeah, you love a festival, don't you?
I do indeed. Can't wait to get my tent out.
Okay, Carrie.
Summer? Well, it's the start of the meteorological winter for me. So that's, I'm here now with my winter stats. I can't believe it. It's been a very soggy start today. It was very wet, wasn't it, this morning's commute? We had a brief respite this afternoon to dry conditions, but this is the current snapshot of the rainfall to western fringes, and that's going to push quite quickly actually north and eastward. So I'm having a little look back at, of course, the season and the month. November was very wet. I did mention on Friday, northern and western parts not so much, as East Yorkshire, which had its wettest on record, North Notts its second, South Yorkshire its fourth, and Derbyshire its sixth wettest November. And all of our counties are in the top 10 for autumn now, because we've had 3 consecutive fairly wet months. There's a little bit more rain to come as we head through this week, but not tomorrow. It will be different. It's very topsy-turvy at the moment, and this is November's temperatures. Of course, we started off very mild. You can see the orange line at the top and the blue line at the bottom. They are our extremes, and this black line in the middle is the average of the last 30 years. So yes, we were well above average for the first half of November and well below. So very topsy-turvy. It's sunny spells 1 minute and then it's soggy the next. So Brian Calories carrots are being kept very dry by store. All your yin and yang photos, send them to me, weather photos at ITV.com.
Well, next, he's the little lad from Maltby who's captured the hearts of fans in the town, and thanks to TikTok, around the country. He ran a mile a day throughout November, and about 10 minutes ago he crossed the finish line for the final time.
Well, 7-year-old Noah Playforth has been raising money for Bluebell Wood Hospice, and so far raised around £30,000 to help other children with life-limiting conditions. This challenge has been so inspiring, it's drawn huge crowds for the last leg, and Adam Fowler is among them now. Adam, it's really meant a lot to a lot of people, this, hasn't it?
It certainly has. I mean, just take a look around you. Hundreds of people have turned out here. There's a half a Maltby giving you a wave there. But of course, it's all thanks to the main man himself here, Noah Playforth. You've just crossed the finish line, fella. How are you feeling?
Very good.
Yeah. And you got your best pal here as well, Logan. What's it been like doing this every day for 31 days?
Amazing.
Are you surprised by how many people have got involved?
Yeah, it turned out into just a little idea of running a mile a day to lots of people showing up for my final one.
Yeah, and you've raised so much money, more than £30,000 now.
Yeah.
That's incredible, isn't it? Yeah. Have you already got another challenge lined up, or are you going to have a rest after this?
I'm going to
I have another challenge lined up.
Oh, OK. All right, we should talk later. Give me an exclusive. Anyway, I'm going to have a word with your mum. Listen, you must be so proud. Incredible job.
Oh, unbelievably proud. It would be hard to put into words how I feel today about Noah, about the community that have turned out for us. It's just been unbelievable.
Even a couple of Rotherham United fellas came down earlier on.
Noah is a big football fan, and we managed to get Bluebell Wood. Well, Bluebell Wood managed to get the Rotherham players down to surprise Noah, and that was just unbelievable as well, wasn't it, Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Rafferty and Matt Hampshire, wasn't it? And of course, you know, a big part of this story has been your friendship with this young man here, Logan Shakespeare. Your mum, Sophie. What do you think of what he's achieved then?
Honestly, I can't thank Noah enough for the support that we've had from the community, Bluebell Wood itself, his mum. You don't understand what it'll mean to families.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can see it means a lot. You okay? Take a breath. I tell you what, Sam, why don't you pick up some of the slack here? You know, you're from Bluebell Wood.
Yeah.
How important is this money and what does it mean?
Oh, it's just incredible. Over £33,000 is just absolutely amazing. So for the community to get behind us, support the hospice, be able to support families like Sophie and Logan and so many others, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And that gift, Noah, will allow us to reach so many more families. It's just incredible.
And he went out in all sorts of weather, didn't he? Middle of storm, Claudia, he was out there.
We started at the beginning of November in shorts. It was really mild. We were running in shorts, T-shirts, then we ate Storm Claudia, then we went to hailstone, we even had snow. So we have literally, and you know, every day he's put his trainers on, he's gone outside and he's ran and he's knew exactly why he's doing it, and that's what makes all this even more special.
Well, I'm sure you've inspired all of our viewers tonight. Well done, young man. Yes, you as well. And there you go. What a wonderful way to start off December.
Oh, not a dry eye in the house. Adam, thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam. What a lovely little lad Noah is.
Absolutely lovely. In all weathers, of course. So let's see what the forecast has in store.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello again. Yes, still fairly soggy out there to begin this evening and the first part of the night, but changeable conditions, very up and down for much of this week. Yes, wet and windy spells at times, but there will be some sunshine or clearer spells in between. Low pressure today brought this weather system north and eastwards, but fewer of them as we head through into tomorrow and Wednesday. It's this system to the west that's going to house, again, further strong winds, cloudy skies and outbreaks of rain later on Wednesday into at least the first part of Thursday. But in the meantime, still cloudy and showery out there for this evening. Some of those showers heavy and pushing north and eastwards all the while to give us drier and clearer conditions across most parts of the region into the early hours of tomorrow. Now, there's definitely enough of that southwesterly flow to prevent a frost, although lows of around 4 or 5 Celsius. And again, the winds helping to mix the air up, so no chance of any mist or fog patches, anything significant anyway, as we head through into tomorrow morning. 8:02 and 3:49 are your sun times for tomorrow. So it's mostly dry, it's mostly bright, the winds will be lighter tomorrow and therefore it will feel a bit better with plenty of blue sky and sunshine. Despite that though, temperatures taking a dip on today's values, we're back into single figures but actually nearer normal for the time of year. We could see a few sharp showers pushing in from the southwest tomorrow evening, but for most of us on Wednesday it's dry and bright. Again, average temperatures 7 or 8, but you can see this weather system threatening in the west. It's likely to come through Wednesday night into Thursday, at least for the first half of the day, and then all change again by Friday.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Well, thank you very much, Kerry, and what a lovely way to end the programme on Noah's story.
Really, really lovely, and great to see so many people from the community out supporting as well, which was brilliant.
Yeah, the right thing to do. Thank you for watching.
Yes, we'll see you tomorrow at 6. Good night.
Bye-bye.